Good morning, Uzma. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Kate?
I'm pretty good.
Awesome. So let's start out. How was your morning?
Oh, my morning was pretty good. Do you know? So I changed the sheets on our bed last night,
Hmm.
yesterday. Like I washed my sheets, the comforter, everything. So, when like after you do that and like the next morning, your sheets are like so like crisp, they're
Yes.
not wrinkly yet. And it smells so good from like the fabric softener and that kind of stuff. So that's how I started my morning off, waking up just like feeling grateful that I was so snuggled and warm and everything smelled really good. What about you? How
Oh,
was your
that's
morning?
awesome.
I
Oh,
know.
well, my morning actually, I grounded my favorite Kona coffee from Hawaii.
Ooh.
Yes, and I had a really, really nice cup of coffee, and then I went outside and I grounded myself. And a lot of times I don't ground myself if there's snow. Like I'll walk up to the snow. You'll see my videos. I'll be right at the peak. But this morning I walked in the snow and it felt so good. It was really cold afterwards, but I was like, I need to push myself a little more because every time it's cold outside or there's snow, I'll walk around the house or I'll just take a peek outside and come in. And I said,
Mm.
today I'm going to push myself. I'm going to do something that I never normally would have done. And it just felt so freeing and it felt so good just to walk in the snow barefoot.
I love that. Oh, it doesn't the cold just kind of shoot up your legs though
It does. And I couldn't feel the bottom of my feet.
for
But it
like
was
an hour?
invigorating. It was, yeah, it was just like, wow, it was like this big rush. You know how people just jump in those ice baths
Yeah, I never do that.
and they just feel, I've never done that either. And then you see them come out and go in and they're just like, whoa, and they have this burst of energy. Just walking in the snow was just like, I did something I would never do. I think that's what was more the excitement. I didn't really feel the
Yes.
cold because I went higher and pushed myself to something that I would never do. I would never do that.
Yeah, I see people doing like that polar bear plunge, and I'm like, I feel like my nervous system would just shut down.
Yeah. I'm very scared that I would get a heart attack or I'd be dead right
Yes.
there. Yeah. So this was just the right amount.
Perfect. Well,
Yes.
so
So
we are doing something, well, not necessarily new because we've done it a few times where, excuse me, I will have a subject to surprise Uzma, and Uzma will provide a subject that I am not aware that she is going to present. And today it's Uzma's turn. So I'm super excited to find out. Uzma, what are we talking about today?
ooh, drum roll. Da, 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 da. We are talking about something that you might have to calm me down about because I'm so passionate about it
Yeah.
because you and I have both done this many times
Yeah.
for ourselves. And it's something that we truly believe in.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, exactly. And it is investing in yourself.
Ooh, I
Yes.
love this subject because I have
Yes.
so many things to say about it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Go.
right. Okay. So there are 5 points that I want to talk about. And number one is makes you a better person. I want to talk about that. And I want to
Okay.
talk about number two, it helps you grow. Um, and number three, it brings self-confidence. And number four, you start putting yourself on a priority list,
Oh,
right? Right.
yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you start holding yourself accountable. And number five, it's scary, but it's powerful,
Mm,
right?
yeah. There's a lot of scary things going on in the
Yes,
that happen
exactly.
in
It's really
life.
scary to invest in yourself.
Well,
Yeah.
I
So
remember the first time I invested in myself. What about the first time you invested in yourself? What came up for you? What did that feel like?
the first time I invested in myself was when I went to be a health coach, got
Mm,
certified as that because I was in a place where the kids had gone off to school. I didn't know what I was doing. And I was like, well, I like to eat healthy. I like to do yoga. I like to know what's going in my body. And I
yeah.
like to teach. So I'll go invest in myself. And I learned so much. And I just got all this confidence because I was like, I spent the money
Hmm.
on myself. Then I went to the course. I learned and I grew. And when I finished, I was like, what the heck? I need to do something else. This just
Yeah, you
really,
become a junkie.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. How about you? When was the first time you invested in
Oh,
yourself?
So the first time was a little over 2 years ago when, I just woke up one morning and I realized like I was not in love with the life I was living. And I just like, oh my gosh, I couldn't, it just hurt to wake up every morning to the same. I felt like I was living in Groundhog Day, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
more of the same. Um, so I did invest in a coach, and it was a lot of money. And at the time, and my husband was like, do you think it'll make you happier? And I'm like, well, I mean, it can't hurt. Um, so he's like, just do it. And yeah, it was super scary because honestly, I wasn't sure what I was signing up for. But I just, this woman, her name was Abby, my coach, she just presented herself to me at a time when I needed her. Right. And we got on the phone, and just all the things that she said to me just made so much sense, just like what I was feeling and what I was going through. And she just really understood. And she's like, oh my God, I can totally help you. And that's where I learned, that I was living my life for everybody else but myself. Right. And correct me if, well, maybe this came up for you too, but the biggest thing, besides I learned so much, I made like some of my best friends in that class.
Yes. I made some really good friends that I'm connected to because we were all in the same alignment,
Yeah.
and so having a support group is so important. But what I also realize is that when you start investing in yourself, when you're older, it's a different type of feeling. Like you can know when you go to school and your college, you're just doing it, you're doing it, you're doing it.
Right.
But when you invest in yourself when you're older and in midlife, it's just such an awesome feeling. And you just
There,
feel so powerful once
there's
you
more
start investing.
intention,
Right. Yeah.
more intention. Cool. Well, I'm
Exactly.
excited to learn your steps.
Yes. So it makes you a better person because you get
Yeah.
knowledge, you're doing something for yourself. Like you said, you have a support group because we really need to, as we get older, have a good support group. Right.
Mhm.
And it makes you a better person because we're always investing in everybody else. We're putting our kids in all these different classes and we're saying, learn, learn, grow, grow, but we're stunting ourselves.
Yeah.
We never tell ourselves, learn, learn, grow, grow. We're like, everybody else has to learn, everybody else has to grow, but not us. We have to stay in the same place and make sure everybody else is going forward. And then sometimes you feel stuck, you feel resentful, and you're like, what am I doing in this life? Like you said, groundhog.
Yeah, that's so true. Cause that's 100% where I was. And I was
Yeah.
like, I can't, the interesting thing for me is at the time that was happening, lo and behold, I had no idea that 3 months later, pandemic.
Yeah. Exactly.
So my world changed so much.
Right. So, it just makes you um, feel more confident. You feel less resentful and you feel like I'm doing something for myself. So you become a better person to everybody else. Because when you're feeling irritated, resentful, sad, lonely, all of that, that's when you need to be like, okay, I need to do something for myself. I can't keep on living like this. So when you
Because
invest in yourself,
yeah,
it makes you better.
because if you keep living like that, you'll keep living like that,
Yeah,
right? I've freaking love Albert Einstein. Everything is energy, and the energy you put out will come back to you. So if you continue to be in that stuck state, you will just be in that stuck state until you make a conscious decision that you're going to change.
exactly. And that's what you did. You hired a coach. You made that conscious decision.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I said, okay, I need to find something. I don't know what it is. So let me start with something that I love to do, which
Yeah.
led to other things, which leads to other things, right?
Yes. a
Right.
hundred percent. You got to take that step. Yeah.
Exactly. And number two is it helps you grow, right? Because when you are trying to invest in yourself, you're confused. You don't know what to do. But that confusion is actually meaning that you want to grow.
That's right.
That's what that confusion is. When you're confused and you don't know what your purpose is, that means you're ready to let go of the past and move forward, which is amazing
I
because we
love
always
that.
think confusion is like, oh, I don't know what to do. Should I take this path? Should I take that path? What should I do? But actually, confusion is telling you that you're ready to make the next step and to grow. And if you're confused and somebody, says something on social media or you hear something, and that just clicks with you,
Yeah.
then move towards that. Go towards
Agree.
that person, go towards that thing, and don't look back. Just go towards that person, because really investing in yourself is going to help you become a better person. And if you don't grow, then there's no life, you don't live. You're just stunted, like you said, stuck. What do you think?
I think that's so true. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had done something sooner, but then, there's also this thing that happens that, you're ready when you're ready, right? And I don't know that I would have been ready any sooner than that. So, but it is that angstiness. That's what I think I felt so much. This just like something has to change, but I don't know what. And so this was like right in front of me. Um, and again, we talked in our last episode about magic, and I asked the universe, I'm like, I just read Gabby Bernstein's book, The Universe Has Your Back, and she's like, ask for a sign. So I did, and I got it like immediately. I asked, hey universe, should I take this course? And literally immediately the sign I asked for showed up. So yeah, absolutely.
Exactly, because it is so important to do something for yourself, and that's what
It
we don't
is.
realize, because that is going to help you grow and bring you self-confidence, which is number 3.
And a little bit of peace. Yeah.
Exactly. Because, like, I love that it brings self confidence, because you've taken a
Yeah.
course, you've invested in yourself, you've met other people, you start becoming aligned, and you start opening up. All those negative feelings, all those negative thoughts slowly disappear, and you start moving forward. Like
Mhm.
when I first started taking a health course, and then I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Let me take a life course. And then it was like, I love this. And I learned so much. And so people would come up to me, and I was like, I can tell you about this, this, and this, and this. Your knowledge grows,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yes.
as a mom, sometimes you're stale, because all you're doing is working with your kids and not really thinking about yourself. So you're just in their mode and their mindset. And then when you start investing in yourself, you're like, wow, I'm smart. I can do this.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's absolutely true.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm worthy.
Yeah.
That worthiness starts coming back, because you're like, how come, I got married like, 30 years ago, and about 25 years or 5 years ago, when before I started all investing, I was like, my kids are off to college, they're living their life, my husband's living his life, and I'm still in the kitchen cooking and making beds
Yeah.
and doing the same thing I was for 25 years. And I was like, I feel stuck.
Yeah.
Everybody else is growing and the universe is opening up for them. And I'm still here trying to make everybody happy,
Right.
trying to make everybody grow and learn, thinking that when they grow and they learn and they become successful, that's my success. But it didn't happen.
No,
They're all
right.
they're successful, and they're living their life and they're happy, thank God, knock on wood. But it wasn't changing the way I felt. I was still
Right.
feeling like I was in the same place.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I feel like so many women go through this, and like, I gotta say, I know a lot of women getting divorced right now, and they all have their reasons, but I feel like women get to that point and they become so resentful because they have done things for everybody else. So, what, and I was in that same boat 2 years ago. I told my husband, we've got 6 months to figure this out, or maybe we're just not meant to be together. We're still together. But what needed to happen was I needed to work on myself. I needed to figure out how to move myself out of that resentfulness, because guess what? I'm the one that put myself there. What do you feel
Yeah.
about that?
I feel like, we really make other people such give other people such a big importance on how we feel and how we live,
Yeah.
you know? And we let if somebody says you can't do this, or you shouldn't do this, or you're really going to do that, we all of a sudden say we doubt ourselves. And what we need to realize, that we're in control of our feelings, and what other people say, that should be a shield. On
Yeah.
our side of the shield, we're confident we can do it. Don't listen to anybody else. If you know you love something, if you know you want to do something, if you know you need to invest in yourself, then do it,
Yeah.
right? Because change is hard. You were going to talk about the other day, you were telling me about about
Yeah.
change and investing. You want to talk about that?
Yes, change is very hard. Well, I will say that investing in that course probably saved my marriage, right? So, change is hard. There's a lot of resistance, right? You know, when people ask about my course, and I'm sure you go through this too, the first thing that always comes up is that, oh, you know, I don't want to spend the money, I can't afford it, this or that. And 9 times out of 10, it's not about the money, it's about the change. So I feel that women have been just investing in like their families and everything around them for so long that they feel, yes, unworthy to invest in themselves. But there is that resistance of, well, what if I do change? What will people think of me? What if it doesn't work? Right? What if I take this course and I'm the same person on the other side, which never happens, by the way. You always do change.
It's
But there's, yeah, just a lot of resistance comes up because people fear change.
And I understand that because I had a client once and she lost a lot of weight. And as she was losing weight, she was scared every time she would lose a pound because she's like, what are people going to think about me? Just by losing the weight. Yeah. She was just like, I'm going to be a new person. I'm thinking
Right.
differently. And what are people going to say? And she had friends who were just like, now you're so different. And she had to have a different social group and really have to change her lifestyle because she lost weight and people did not accept her once she lost weight. So she went through
That's
a really hard time
and that's why
because
you need that group, right? Those
exactly.
people that you align with. That's what I love about group coaching. And I know
Yes.
I do group coaching, and so do you, is just now you are like in this like cauldron with these other women like going through the same things. Like my one of my best friends, Beta, started this class with me. We were like deer, little baby deers in headlights. And yesterday she's doing this, you know, like energy work on me yesterday, and we got on to talk about, yeah, quantum physics. So that's what we're talking about. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. If you asked me 2 years ago that Beta and I would be doing that, like, no way. So
Exactly.
it's just amazing.
And the thing is, you know, when you take a course or you invest in yourself, all the other women in the group have invested in themselves too.
That's right.
So you are a community who want to grow, you invested in yourself and you stayed in this group and you joined this group so that you could raise yourself higher, so that you could
Yeah,
raise your energy, go to the next level.
that's
You
right.
know, if you
Yeah.
don't want to, you know, and if you don't invest in yourself, then I really feel that you're going to feel like you stay stuck. Why do
Yeah.
you think so many moms, they say, you know, I want to do something for myself, I want to change, I really, really want to, you know, learn and grow. And then when it comes to actually investing, they back off.
You know, being a mystic and a channeler a little bit, the first thing that comes to my mind when you ask me that question is self-love.
Okay.
Maybe lack of worthiness, lack of self-love. Who am I to spend this money on me?
Yes. Yes. Which actually brings me to point four. You start putting yourself first on the priority list, right? And you start
Yeah.
holding yourself accountable. When you invest that one time, it really takes just that one step and that one time. And it, you know, once you do that, all of a sudden you're like, I'm worthy. I have self love. I deserve this,
Yeah.
right?
It's a confidence booster, just like you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. And you hold yourself accountable too, because you're with a group of people who also have invested in themselves and want to move forward. Because so many times we say we can do it on our own, but how many times have we bought the videos? Have we, you know, bought the books and we read them, we do them, we don't do anything, nothing.
We
We're it's
don't
the same
follow through.
circle, right? So
Yeah.
like even for resolutions or when you want to do something every year, it's the same thing. I want to lose weight. I want to stop sugar. I want to move my body. It's the same thing every year for so many women because they don't invest in themselves. Whereas if they invested in themselves, the first year it would be like, I want to lose weight. Then the next year it could be another higher level. This year I'm going to build muscle. This year
Yeah.
I want it. So every year you can go up and grow and improve, but we
Yeah.
don't do that because we don't invest. So you don't know what the step one is, you
Right.
know?
And I think when you talk about investing too, there's two things that come up for me. And one is accountability. Like really when we're talking about an investment, besides learning, which you
Yeah.
will do, you have somebody holding you accountable to be like, hey, you know, and not just like, did you do the homework? But what's coming up for you? What are your
Yeah.
what are you going through? And so you're in this group and you have people that validate your feelings and your emotions and what you're going through. And that alone is life-changing.
I agree. And
And then
we also go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Okay,
You
I was
go.
going to say that we have, people hire uh, chefs, they hire, what is it?
Personal
Personal
trainer.
trainers,
Yep.
they hire all this stuff, right? For their outsides, but nobody really invests for their insides. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, that's my program is called Inner Alchemy, right? So
It
the
is.
changing of yourself on the inside. Um, yeah, I guess we don't think about that. We always think about the surface level, right? Like what we look like. So I want to lose weight, or I need collagen to make me look younger. Like we'll invest in that shit all day long.
Yeah, exactly.
But the really crazy thing is once you can shift your energy, like somebody said to me the other day, like you look so much younger. And I'm like, that's that. Besides, I say I don't do sugar, but I started doing sugar again because yeah, whatever. I'm like,
It's okay.
I'll get off it again.
Yeah.
But it's an energetic shift, right? When you can clean up your energy, when you walk in a room with that self-confidence, that looks better on you than collagen peptides. That looks better on you than, the 10 pounds you just lost, right? That confidence looks amazing on you.
Yeah, I can totally relate because the way I look now compared to the way I looked when I was younger, it was like I was just all over the place, running everywhere, having to be a people pleaser, listening to everybody, investing in everybody else but myself. And the minute I, said to myself, I'm a priority, I'm going to invest, I'm going to do it, my face changed, my body changed, my mind changed, everything changed. And
Yeah,
people started noticing.
I know. Isn't
They're
that
like, you're
cool?
that, yeah, exactly. And it's like, I'm like, I didn't do anything. I mean, even if I didn't lose weight, people are like, you lost weight or your skin looks better. I'm like, no, it's aging. But it just, everything just changed because the mindset and I invested and I made myself a priority.
And you're walking in your confidence and you are living in a higher vibration, and that always will get noticed.
Exactly.
So what's your next step?
Number 5, it's scary, but it's powerful. Scary because it's a commitment, but powerful because you are taking a step forward for yourself.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah,
Right.
it is scary.
It
Even
is
when I
scary.
invest now, I'm scared, but I like being scared. Like scared means change is coming.
Yes,
Scared is something I know, that fear is something I can push through, and then I don't have to have that fear anymore. And that's empowering as heck.
exactly. Like what I was saying this morning, I was scared to step in that snow because I don't like cold.
Yeah.
And I stepped in that snow and I walked it and I felt so powerful. I was like, today is going to be the most awesomest day because I did this. And,
Yeah.
whether it's money, whether it's time, whatever it is scary, right? Because you're worried about time commitment. We always make that excuses. But when you're 90 years old, you're not, and you're just an older person, you're going to look back on your life and be like, why didn't I put
Step in
that
the
time?
snow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why didn't I step in that snow? Why didn't I
Yeah.
invest in that? Why didn't I do that? Because I would have been a better person. I would have, learned things because you want to learn. When you learn, that excitement comes,
Yeah.
right? And it's really about learning and taking care of your inner self because we get the manicures, we build the muscle, we do all that. But for some reason, there always feels like there's something missing because you're not whole, right? You
Yes.
feel lonely, you don't know what to do, you can't find your purpose. That's because you're not holding yourself accountable. And it's scary, but once you do it, it's like giving that money or doing that thing for yourself. You're like, oh my gosh, what if Johnny needs that t-shirt? Or what if I have to pay for college? But just think about how much college is and how much you're investing.
And I want to talk on that a little bit too, since I love to talk about energy and,
Yeah.
because I feel like, you know, people are like, well, but you're helping women like get better and realize the power that they have. Like, why would you charge for that? Right. Like, I feel that comes up quite a bit. And when we talk about energy, there is an energetic exchange, and money is just, it's an energetic exchange. So being able to invest in something that's going to be so life-changing for you really just shows the universe that you're ready to step up and take this seriously. It also comes back, you are more committed when you've handed that money over, right? When you've
Yes.
made that investment, you're like, all right, put I put my money where my mouth is, my mouth or whatever
Yeah.
they say. And I've written that check. I've charged that course. And so I am committed to myself to do this. It is an energetic exchange. I have done things with people for free before that most of the time they kind of go south, or I don't get what I intended to get out of it. And I truly believe because it wasn't an even energetic exchange that happened.
Exactly. It's like everything. You get what you invest
Yeah,
in, right? You get what you pay for. And
that's
that's
right.
with everything. It doesn't have to be with a coach or anything that, you know what, if you buy a cheap face lotion, it's not going to be as good as a really nice one. You're not going
Yeah,
to see the same results, right? If
that's
you
right.
don't pay somebody to help you build muscle and get a good coach, you know,
Yeah,
a personal trainer, then you will not see the results that you want, and you will be upset that I paid and you know, I didn't get the results. But if you don't pay a good trainer, you're not gonna, just like a good coach, if you don't pay a good coach,
yeah,
you know, then why will that person invest in you? Because what I think a lot of people don't understand is, you know, it's not like we come on the day of, we research, we invest, we spend our time as well, right? So it is just like you're spending your time investing, you want what you paid for.
that's
And for
right.
us to give that back, or for any coach, in matter of fact, to give it back, they need to feel like it's worth it.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
absolutely. And you want your coach to be able to show up for you in all their glory, right?
yes.
And again, that's where the energetic exchange happens. If you've got like 5 women and you're doing your like 3-month program, but they haven't paid you, what kind of energy are you going to show up with
Exactly.
when you teach that class?
Exactly. They're just going to be like, okay, I'm here. They don't care, so I don't care as much either. But when
That's
I
right.
know they've invested and they care, then I'm like 150% there, more than they think.
Let's do
They're just
this.
like, what the
Yeah,
heck? You
yeah,
know, because I'm
yeah,
like, you really, really want to be a priority. You want to see a change in yourself. So I'm going to make that change happen. I'm going to guide you that way. But
that's right.
when it's something that, you know, you don't want to invest in or you don't really care, I'm moving on. I'm just here because I promised you, but I'm not going to give you your 150% because that energy I'm taking away from my family. I'm
Yeah,
taking away from myself. I'm taking away from everything in my life and giving it to you. So you better be there for that energy back. But
yeah,
speaking of that, you know,
yeah.
we talked about that this the other day about how sometimes when you invest, you don't click or with your coach, but that's not a bad thing because we both have had coaches that we haven't connected with, but we've left learning and we've grown. So it's not always a bad experience.
I paid $2,000 for a program that I feel like I got nothing out of. However, one of my best friends, she's a business coach also, came out of that. And we have gotten together and chatted every week for almost 2 years now. She has opened the door for me to learn things. She's introduced me to people that have really changed the way I do things. Um, I would not have been introduced to these people if I hadn't known Tess. So what did I get from that $2,000? That relationship. And it's worth so much more to me than that.
Exactly. So even if you invest and it doesn't work out, don't look at it as something that is a failure. Look at it as what you've learned. Like I had a coach and we, you know, I thought when she talked to me, it was just going to be really great. And it just didn't work out. But the tips and the things she taught me, I'm using now in my courses, or I learned a lot from her, but
Mhm.
as people, we weren't connected. So that's what
Right.
I took out of it. I gave her money and we didn't gel, but the stuff she taught me was so valuable.
And I think a lot of times we're always looking at what am I going to get out of this, like in a positive sense. But sometimes we learn things that we realize we don't align with, or
Yes.
we get taught something that we realize it just doesn't feel good to us. That is also learning.
I agree. And also sometimes we sign up and invest And our mind is like, I'm going to learn this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. But actually, when you get into the class, you have to tweak and adjust, and you realize that you just learned something else that you didn't even think.
That you,
So
yep,
it wasn't a bad course or anything like that. It was just that what you thought you were going to get, you got so much more and learned other things.
unexpected. Yeah.
Right? Because I think as moms, as people, we're like, we're giving this money, we better get what we want. We don't adjust, we don't tweak, we go in with this straight mindset. And we need to go in with whatever we invest in,
Yeah,
you know.
I
And
agree.
it's as just like, I'm just here to learn, I'm here to grow, this is amazing. Go in with a positive attitude, not a, I gave money, she better give me what I got her, and it better be like this, you know, that type of attitude. It should be like, I'm here, give me what you got.
Yes.
Right. And the course just goes so much better. But, you know, investing, you know, a lot of people say, oh, they're just talking about money and investing in a course. But investing can also be, you know, meditation,
Hmm.
investing in yourself with meditation, investing in yourself with taking a walk outside,
That's
right?
right.
It doesn't have to be. I think the point in which you need to really invest in a coach or spend money is when you're just like resentful, you're down, you don't
You're
know what to
stuck.
do, you're
Yeah.
stuck.
Yep.
Yes, you're stuck. That's when you say, okay, I need to get out of this and I need to invest in myself. I mean, there are
Right.
little ways you can invest without spending money, but if you want to get out of that stuck and you want to have a relationship with yourself and other people without your whole world falling apart, you need to go and invest in yourself. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think that's true. All right, Uzma. So if I want to connect with you, tell me the name of your Facebook group again.
My Facebook group is the Contentment Method.
Oh, right.
Yes, and it's for empty nester moms. And I have a 90-day course in which I help empty nester moms get from point A to Z with slow steps and small wins. I believe in small wins. So we have daily
Yes.
accountability, we have a weekly group coaching, and it's just step by step. And because it's 3 months, you really get to grow with me and also the other women in the group. And you also get to really not go from A to Z and be like, now what? It's really, really small steps. So you really grow and know about yourself, because I really believe in learning about the inner part rather than the outer part. Right. And we have my
Yeah,
yoga, and we have yoga in there too. We have my signature yoga program. So you get a lot of movement and meditations and yoga along in the course as well.
I
But you
love it.
also do a cool course too.
I do. I have an 8-week program, Inner Alchemy. And yeah, we just dive inside and realize, like, we the programming that we have, we've been programmed, right? Society has programmed us a certain way. And how can we kind of undo that to dig in deeper, to find our true essence, to find our soul purpose and who we really are.
You have a lot of scientific stuff in your course as well, too,
Yeah,
right?
I like to talk about the science of woo. Like, freaking Albert Einstein is just one of my favorite people ever. And he believed, well, he's the one that said it's all energy, right? It is all energy. So when you think about that, um, you know, working with you, any coach, really at the crux of what we're doing is we are trying to raise the vibration of our participants. That's it in a
Exactly.
nutshell.
Yeah. And moms need moms. You know what I mean?
We
If
do.
nothing else, you know, when you invest in yourself, you make friends, you have a group you're aligned with, you have that support. And we need that, especially in the time of the pandemic when we're all onliners, right? We
Yes.
can't meet people. I mean, it has really raised my energy and made me feel so happy to meet you and other people, and, you know, have other women that I can connect with that are on the same vibrations.
Yeah.
It's
A
so
hundred
important.
percent. Yeah.
So, you know, we're talking about investing in ourselves in this episode. So tell me why you think it's important, like before we get off the
Before we wrap up,
podcast.
why
Yeah,
it's
before we
important
wrap
to
up.
invest in yourself. Because if you're not going to invest in yourself, nobody's going to do it for you, right? You are responsible for yourself 100%. And, when I first invested in myself, I was looking outside of myself for what was making me unhappy. I didn't realize this initially, but I did come to the realization that if I didn't change myself, my outlook, um, and really, change the way I was living my life was going to continue to be the same.
Yeah. And for me, it was like, after like 20 years looking up and being like from the ground, and being like,
Yeah.
what the heck is going on? And
Yeah.
and trying to find my purpose
Yeah.
first, and also being a better person and a better mom, because I wanted to be connected to my kids. I wanted to be connected to the world. And once the kids left, I was disconnected from everything. So this
Yeah.
really helped me learn and grow and be happier, because before I was like so like a helicopter mom. What are the kids doing? What is everybody doing? Worried about everybody else. But once I started investing and started having a business and growing, I they could be traveling around the world and I wouldn't even know it, and it wouldn't even bother me, because I'm so busy with my own life. It really keeps you focused on you,
It does.
which I
It does.
love, because then I'm not thinking all these negative thoughts, and I'm not having those circles in my head, and I'm just having something to do that I just love, that brings me so much excitement.
And better relationships, right? Because you're not
Yes.
focused on everybody else. You are focusing on yourself. And I just took a picture because you in that top that you're wearing and your headphones, you look like Princess Leia.
Oh, thanks. Well, this is another, I have to, because just in case people visualize and see us,
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
this. This is
Yeah. When
another
Kate
one of those
finally puts them
snaps.
up on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Always so good talking to you, Uzma. Thanks for jumping in and chatting. And
Oh, thank you. It was so much fun as usual. So ladies, invest in yourself no matter what it is. We will put the links to our programs at the bottom.
but if it's not ours,
But it's not us,
yeah,
somebody
find
else.
somebody you align with.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. I totally agree with it. We're just doing it as, a helpful step. But you know what? If we don't align with you, it doesn't matter to us. We want you to be the best version of yourself, no matter who you are aligned with. That's why we serve, and that's why we do this podcast.
Because that's what will change the world.
Exactly. All right,
All right.
Kate.
Much love.
Bye.
Bye.